All right, so just finished hole 6. And now we're going to walk up to tee box for hole 7, which is one of the newer holes on the course. It was originally discovered and thought of and conceived and fantasized by myself and a dear friend Ryan Thurston, when we first walked this land years ago, and didn't know if it was realistic. But then, because I didn't know if I owned the land that the basket is going to be on for hole 7. Turns out I do, courtesy of the gentleman who designed and helped build the lead building, the Da Vinci Bridge. This handy dandy little app he has on his phone. We confirmed that in fact I do own this next chunk of the gully, as it were. And that's pretty much the it's the northeastern limits of the property, I believe. It's accurate. Again, difficult hole because people can't see the basket at this point. You know, it's just I don't want to take out too many trees and make it too darn easy, which is what happened sort of arguably on 3. So it's basically you're teeing off down this beautiful steep hill, and you should kind of go to the right of that tree and curve it around, and you usually probably end up short of the creek unless you're super powerful. Some people have gone up and over everything, but that is very risky. I need to build. Ideally, I'm going to build prior to winter setting in a walking path down this hill that is safe and reasonable, but it's going to be challenging, and if I fail in that regard, then there's an alternate. We're going to take the logging path, which is not ideal, but not terrible either, and it's not going to create any significant overlap. It's the same logging path we'll be taking to come back up out of the gully, and that was the challenge. Well, with any holes that go into the gully, oftentimes the challenge is finding a way to come back out where there's not overlap, because oftentimes there's only one point of egress, in and out. You know, it's one logging trail, so it's a little complicated. So, going down this logging trail, which deviated quite a bit to the right, relative to where the basket is, but that's okay. And there, I just fell in. I'm clumsy old man. But mad camera skills, didn't drop the camera. This will be the first winter that the course has really been here, full, playable form, as it were, more or less. And I am very anxious to see what it's like in the winter. My friend and fellow course owner, Christian, who's a terrific course. I'm only about 25 minutes from here, in the greater Corning area. He's peak places in the winter for sure. I don't know if how stoked he'd be to host a tournament in the winter, but he certainly plays it. And I think it's one of those cases where it can be hideous, footing, ice, leaves, slippery, snow, all that mud. But so you don't necessarily have a tournament in the winter. But certainly it's fun to play when it's nice. So that is where we would have driven from just a few minutes ago, up there. And see, done a lot of clearing already. And this beautiful little secluded area over the out of bounds Caton Creek. Oh, there's a deer, lots of deer. Be careful, you're driving around at night. And you kind of see the baskets right there, nestled in the little copse of trees. And a cool little backdrop. So, finished shooting that hole. Got a nice little easy hole back here. That hole is tricky. Definitely a tough 3. Again, I don't think it's a 4. Maybe 3.5 is what I would call it, but whatever. We'll figure out what it is when the time comes. And here we are, hole 8. You really can't see it, but it's a pretty straightforward hole. It kind of goes gentle dog leg left, very gentle. Just kind of through this open space here in the bottom of the gully. Caton Creek is over here to our right, our left. Not a lot of obstacles on this hole. The challenging thing only is that, some trees, and certainly, and if and the creek comes into play. The creek winds around through there, and there you can kind of see somewhere up in there is the basket. So if you have a bad throw, definitely the creek could hurt you. So having thrown that hole, you put it in for an easy 3. Go back up the same logging trail it came down to get into the gully. Again though, the way it works, to be clear, the way we came down through here, it doesn't really interfere with driving, or I may, from the hole 8, I may even carve a little path in here to help even mitigate that more. But yeah, everyone wants to go straight from the tee box straight down, which we'll see. It's, I don't even know how it can be made consistently safe for people of all mobility capabilities. Could be I do something with it to give limber youngsters a way down. It's semi-safe, and then old farts like me will just do the path we basically walked minutes ago to get down there. All right, hole 10. Hole 10 again. Nice little logging trail. Love the logging trails. You cannot see it. This hole, it's a lot of clearing left, but it is right up in there where you kind of see that white patch of sky. It's a long hole, not easy. I'm going to turn it off now. We'll pick back up when we get to the basket.